her body language can reveal far more than her words ever could. In fact, most men miss the quiet signals that a woman is secretly thinking about them, even fantasizing about what it would be like to be closer. Today, I'm going to reveal 9 powerful signs she's secretly fantasizing about you. These are subtle, psychological giveaways you can't afford to ignore. And let me warn you, the last sign is the most revealing of all, because it uncovers emotions she could never admit out loud. So stay with me until the very end. Let's get into it. Sign 1. She can't stop fidgeting around you. When a woman's thoughts are running wild about you, her body often betrays her before her words ever do. One of the clearest giveaways is fidgeting. She might twist her hair around her finger, tap her foot, bite her lip, or keep adjusting her clothes. On the surface, it looks like meaningless movement. But in psychology, fidgeting often comes from heightened arousal. Her nervous system is literally charged because of your presence. Why does this happen? When she's secretly fantasizing about you, her brain releases dopamine, the chemical of anticipation and desire. This surge of energy has to escape somehow, and it often leaks through small, restless actions. Think of it like a tell. In poker, she doesn't even realize she's revealing her hand. Here's how you can test it. Watch her in group settings. If she seems calm around others but noticeably restless when she's near you, that's a sign her thoughts are directly tied to you. And pay attention to the timing. If she stops fidgeting the second you leave, it's not boredom, it's attraction. Most men dismiss these subtle signals, but for the man who notices, it's like catching a glimpse of her private fantasy, written in body language. Sign 2. Her pupils dilate when you talk. Eyes are powerful truth-tellers. When a woman is secretly fantasizing about you, her pupils will often dilate, literally expanding to take in more of you. This isn't something she can fake. It's a subconscious reaction triggered by attraction and heightened emotion. When dopamine and oxytocin flood the brain, the body reacts physically. Her pupils enlarge, her eyes seem brighter, and she may blink less as she focuses more intently on you. Imagine this. You're mid-conversation, and instead of casually listening, she looks locked in, like the rest of the room has disappeared. That's not just interest, that's her body betraying deeper thoughts. A subtle way to test this. Notice if her eyes look different with you compared to when she's speaking with others. Lighting can play tricks, yes, but if you consistently see her pupils expand when you engage her, that's attraction written in biology. Most men never catch this sign because they don't pay close attention. But when you spot it, you'll realize her subconscious is screaming what her mouth might never say. Her eyes are windows to her fantasies, and once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Sign 3. Her voice softens or shifts. Voice is one of the most underestimated attraction signals. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, her tone often changes in subtle but powerful ways. It might become softer, more melodic, or slightly higher pitched. These shifts are subconscious, she's not planning them, but they're deeply tied to desire. Why does this happen? In psychology, it's called vocal modulation. When we're around someone we're drawn to, our body adjusts tone to appear more approachable, more intimate. For women, a softened voice often signals vulnerability and a subconscious invitation for closeness. Imagine being in a group conversation. She's laughing and talking loudly with everyone else. But when you ask her a question, her tone drops, gentler, warmer, almost like the rest of the world faded out. That sudden change? That's her attraction bleeding through. Compare her tone with others. If she speaks to you with more care, more warmth, or even a playful lilt she doesn't use with anyone else, she's letting you in on her inner world. Remember, men often miss this because they're too focused on what she's saying, not how she's saying it. But the music in her voice reveals the fantasy. Sign 4. She holds eye contact just a little too long. Eye contact is one of the most intimate connections humans share. When a woman is secretly fantasizing about you, she won't just glance, she'll hold your gaze longer than necessary. That extra second or two speaks louder than words ever could. Neurologically, sustained eye contact triggers the brain's reward system. It increases dopamine, creating a sense of connection and even arousal. For her, Holding your gaze is both thrilling and terrifying. Thrilling because she's drawn to you, terrifying because she knows she might get caught revealing too much. Picture this: you're talking, your eyes meet, and instead of looking away instantly, she lingers. Maybe she smiles, maybe she looks down and blushes, or maybe she nervously giggles after breaking the gaze. Each reaction is a subconscious confession. Don't overthink it. You don't need to stare her down like a statue. Just notice how long she maintains that visual lock with you versus with others. If you're getting more of those stolen seconds, you're the one on her mind. Most men brush it off as politeness. But for the man who pays attention, that extended glance is a glimpse into the fantasies she won't say out loud. Sign 5. She finds excuses to mention you. When a woman can't stop fantasizing about you, your name sneaks into her conversations like a song stuck in her head. She'll bring you up even when it doesn't quite fit the topic, or she'll recall small things you said weeks ago. This isn't coincidence, it's her subconscious showing how much mental space you occupy. Why does she do this? Psychologists call it availability bias. The brain tends to recall the people and events it finds most emotionally stimulating. If she keeps referencing you, it means her thoughts naturally drift your way. Imagine being at work, someone mentions coffee, and suddenly she says, "Oh, that's what you always order, right?" Or during a casual chat, she throws in, "That's so something you'd say." Those tiny links are her mind's way of weaving you into her world. Notice repetition. If she remembers details most people forget, or if she keeps connecting random things back to you, it's not by accident. That's her fantasy spilling over into reality. Most men mistake this as friendliness. But once you realize she keeps finding ways to put you in the spotlight, you'll understand, you're already in her head. Sign 6. She mirrors your movements. Have you ever crossed your arms, only to notice she did the same seconds later? Or leaned in, and she matched your posture? That's not random, that's mirroring, a deep psychological signal of connection. When someone secretly fantasizes about you, their subconscious tries to align with you, almost like their body is saying, "We're in sync." Mirroring is tied to the brain's mirror neurons, which fire when we observe and mimic others. It builds rapport, comfort, and intimacy without a word being spoken. Picture this: you're at a cafe, sipping your drink. Moments later, she picks up hers. Or you tilt your head, and she tilts in the same direction. These are subtle echoes, but they reveal something powerful. Her body is literally trying to match your rhythm. Test it. Change your movement intentionally, shift your weight, adjust your hand, lean slightly back. If she follows within seconds, she's unconsciously broadcasting her attraction. Most men miss this because they're too focused on conversation. But mirroring is like a secret handshake between two subconscious minds. When you spot it, you're not just seeing interest, you're seeing her fantasy manifest physically. Sign 7. She gets jealous in subtle ways. Jealousy doesn't always explode in obvious ways. Sometimes, it shows up in whispers, a quick change in tone, a quiet mood shift, or a playful jab that hides something deeper. When a woman is secretly fantasizing about you, she notices when other women enter the picture, and her reactions, though subtle, speak volumes. Why? Because in her mind, you already belong to her. Even if she hasn't said it out loud, her emotions betray her. Psychologists call this territorial behavior. When we feel emotionally invested in someone, we instinctively guard that connection. Imagine this: you casually mention chatting with another woman, and she suddenly jokes, "Oh, making new best friends, huh?" The words are light, but the undertone is sharp. Or maybe she grows quieter, less playful, as soon as another woman grabs your attention. That's not coincidence. That's fear of losing a fantasy she hasn't admitted. Watch for micro-expressions. A fleeting frown, eyes narrowing, or a sudden distraction, those tiny shifts are her jealousy leaking through. Most men brush it off as nothing. But when you recognize it, you'll see the truth. Her feelings are stronger than she's willing to reveal. Sign 8. She leans in closer than necessary. Personal space is one of the clearest indicators of hidden desire. Most people keep an invisible boundary, about an arm's length, when interacting. But when a woman is secretly fantasizing about you, that rule starts to bend. She leans in just a little too close, invades your personal bubble, and seems completely comfortable doing so. Why? Psychology calls this proxemics, the study of personal space. When we're drawn to someone, we unconsciously reduce the distance. It's not just about hearing you better, it's about wanting to feel your presence more intensely. Picture this: you're talking in a noisy place, and instead of simply raising her voice, she leans close enough that you can feel her breath. Or maybe you're side by side, and she tilts in, brushing your arm when there's plenty of room not to. These are subtle but deliberate signals. Test her comfort zone. Step slightly closer during conversation. If she stays, or even moves closer herself, you've just uncovered undeniable attraction. Most men dismiss this as coincidence. But women don't shrink their space for men they don't trust or desire. When she keeps closing that gap, it's her subconscious saying, "I want to be near you." Sign 9. Her energy lingers even after she's gone. Here's the ultimate sign she's secretly fantasizing about you. Her energy sticks with you. Maybe she texts right after leaving, maybe she drops a follow-up message about your conversation, or maybe she leaves something behind, on purpose. Why? Because she doesn't want the interaction to end. Her mind keeps circling back, replaying the moment. Psychologists call this mental residue. If you notice, she always finds a reason to extend the connection, before, during, and after. It's proof she can't stop thinking about you. And men who spot this, they hold the key to unlocking her unspoken feelings. Now you know the hidden codes, the subtle signals that reveal when she's secretly fantasizing about you. But here's the truth: most men never notice these signs. They let opportunities slip by, all because they weren't paying attention. Don't be that guy. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button to let me know. And subscribe for more insider psychology so you never miss the signals again. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you noticed before? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. Remember, women rarely say it directly. But if you learn to read the signs, you'll never be left guessing again.